Jason here from Wedding Film School, and I want to show you guys a light that's going to change your wedding day. This light is amazing. It might not fit into a lot of the traditional uses of how wedding filmmakers might use lights when they bring it to a wedding, but I'm telling you, this thing has a place in every single wedding filmmaker's kit, and I quite literally mean it can fit in all your kits. I'm talking about the Pavotube 6C. This is the Pavotube II 6C. The Nanlite Pavotube 6C is a 10-inch RGB battery-powered tube light. They're cheap, less than $100. The battery life is solid. They have all kinds of cool features. I'm not exaggerating, and I really believe that every single wedding filmmaker can have a place in their kit for a light like this. And we're gonna get into exactly why, but I also think every wedding filmmaker can have a place in their life for this video's sponsor, Pond 5. Pond 5 is one of the largest stock footage marketplaces on the internet with over 25 million clips. And you might say, I'm not gonna use stock footage in my wedding film. But let's be honest, there's been plenty of times where you've been in a location, you need some more B-roll, you need something special. So go check out Pond 5, especially if you just need a little something extra for your next wedding film. We promise you, you won't regret it. Click the link and get 20% off. Now, let's talk about this light. This is a pretty simple concept. It's small, compact, battery-powered light, RGB. It does a lot of cool stuff. It's got all kinds of features. It's awesome. What I want to talk more about though is why I think this light can fit into every wedding filmmaker's kit. Because honestly, it's really more about how you use a light like this than what this light can do. So why would you want to use this light? What is so great about it and why do I love it? Why do I personally bring it to every wedding that I shoot? The first thing, I love it for details. I love the reflection it creates. I love how small it is. I can just keep it in my bag or even keep it in my pocket. And if I need it during getting ready or any kind of detail setting, it's easy and it's fast to set up. It's got little 1/4-20 mounting points on the bottom so you can put it on a light stand. And the other cool thing is it's actually got a magnet built in here so you can just stick it onto anything metallic. It's just really utilitarian, but what I also love is it lets me create drama and just a little bit of more interest in some otherwise boring shots, whether it be just kind of getting a little movement to my light or maybe even using the RGB feature to get a little bit of color. It's just awesome to have. The other reason I think every wedding filmmaker can use a light like the Pavotube II 6C is that it's just great to have an extra light in your kit that has a battery inside of it that can bail you out if you really had to. I've had a couple spots where I had really tiny areas where their speeches were being held where maybe our traditional Fresnel lights were just too much and they were gonna be disruptive. You just never know at a wedding, and a Fresnel light just has a look to it and it's got a throw to it that in tiny spaces might be a little too intense. Now given, I would prefer a 4-foot tube, but at the end of the day, that is not practical, so I think having a 10-inch tube just in your kit or in your bag or even in your pocket, I don't see why you wouldn't want to do it. The other reason every wedding filmmaker should consider this for their kit is it's just so cheap. Why not? It's less than $100. And if you get one of these power adapters, they're probably around, I think, $25. And you can get like 3 hours of battery life off this thing plugged in. It's so cheap, why not add one? And the last reason I think every wedding filmmaker should consider grabbing a light like this is because it really will open up your creativity. You know, at weddings, one of the biggest challenges to being creative is that you always have a time constraint. There's always something else you're supposed to be at. There's always some next thing. A couple gives you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And having this creative setup, a lot of times bringing lights, doing all this extra stuff, we a lot of times will forgo that because we just don't have time. Everything takes too long to set up. This light is fast and it lets you do some creative stuff that maybe other lights might not let you do because of the form factor, because of how small it is, and because, of course, the thing I really love is the fact that it has RGB built in. So I'm not just looking for gear's sake, guys. We're looking for gear that we will actually use, and more than that, gear that will enhance our product, enhance our art, make us more creative, and honestly, be a ton of fun to work with. Hopefully I made my case. I've used this at over 20 weddings, and I'm telling you, I actually ended up using it in all different ways, and I love a piece of gear like that because it solves a lot of problems for a small price, and most of all, in a small size. So why wouldn't you buy this thing? It's small, it's compact, it's got RGB, it's got a built-in battery, and if that battery's not enough, you can get a battery grip and add a lot more battery time to it. It's got USB input for more battery. It's got all kinds of crazy effect settings I haven't even talked about because I don't use them. But if you really wanted a strobing effect, it's got that. I have used this thing for detail shots, cake shots. I use it for ring shots on a regular basis. I've even used it for some creative portrait sessions, using the colored lights or using it as a fill light in some really weird settings. I am still finding new ways to use a light like this. It's opened up my creativity. Go drop the 90 bucks, you cheapskate. Grab one of these lights, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it. It's gonna enhance your films and make you more creative. Well, I guess nothing can make you creative. But if you are creative, you'll find a way to use this light. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did not, get out of here. If you did, subscribe, like, do the YouTube stuff. We love having you over here at Wedding Film School. Be sure to check out our weekly live streams as well as our podcast, The Wedding Film School Show. We love you. Thank you for checking out our video.